everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It is Saturday evening, December 10th, 2022. I'm gonna make this video very quick. To be honest, I was not gonna make a video about it. Actually, I'm working on different content for this week here in my channel, but God put it again in my heart to speak about it. And I was like, I don't know, because I really don't understand what it means, but if God is using me to sound the alert, then so be it. I'm here to testify, to give you what the dream was all about. So this morning, I woke up around, I think it was right before 5 o'clock, right? I woke up and I was so scared. And what happened was I had this dream, right? It was like such a vivid vision that I had before, that I never had before. I know if you guys are not familiar with me, but if you've seen my channel before, I speak about a vision that God gave me about the island of Hispaniola, the Dominican Republic in Haiti, right? And that vision was so vivid for me. The same thing that happened to me overnight, I guess, that I had this dream. So if you guys want to see that video about Haiti and DR, go, it's I'm gonna put the link here in the description. But the dream that I had was very vivid, right? And I don't even know like where to begin. It was chaotic. Okay, so I remember being on this big street, right? It was like a multiple lane street, but it was also like, it had a sidewalk, and on the sidewalk, there was buildings and like restaurant stores, and there was a lot of people walking. It was maybe probably like mid-afternoon, and I remember just running, right? I remember just coming out on the street and just walking, and I remember saying, what is going on? I could hear the sirens so crazy on the streets, and police making room, like those sirens, if you ever go to like New York City, they're like stronger than regular sirens. So they're like boom boom, and it was so loud. And then I see police cars coming, and just cars with like the light of the police, kind of like unmarked cars, I guess you can say. And I remember just standing and looking, and then I'm looking up and I see airplanes, not like regular, obviously not regular airplanes, passenger airplanes, but like military planes, right? Because I remember seeing them being dark green, and I remember the planes, coming and just going down, and I'm trying to get away. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like, this is so crazy because being a YouTuber and creating content all the time, I was like, I have to go live, I was like, I have to go live. And I was like, I'm holding my phone, and I'm like, let me see if I can go live. But then I also had this urgency to just keep moving, right? So all the cars and like the police were going down this way. I was trying to go the other way, and people were just coming all over the place, right? So everybody was trying to get somewhere, right? But the strange thing that happened was, as I'm trying to get my phone, trying to program it to go live. I'm like, am I going to go live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, which one, right? As I'm thinking that, I'm like, I'm so afraid. I feel like I'm going to be arrested if I go live. And it's so weird. I had this feeling like, don't show your phone. I was like, and then I saw a cop just staring at me. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like, I'm not doing anything with my phone for some reason. I was like, I just put it down. I'm like, maybe I'll record when I get farther up the street, right? And in that moment, I just feel so concerned for myself. I'm like, I feel like if I go live, if I walk around like this with the phone, I feel, I had this feeling in that dream that I was gonna be arrested. So crazy, right? I'm like, I feel like, people need to see this. And then I'm like, if I go live, then people are gonna ask questions too, right? And then I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, is this happening everywhere, or is it just here, right? And it's so crazy because I don't really recognize the city, but I was walking, there, and like I remember just looking up, and I told you I was walking in this big open sidewalk, and I look over and I see a cafe, right? And in this cafe, there they have the TVs and people are looking at the TVs, And it's so crazy because one of my favorite movies is Children of Men, and that movie kind of starts with very chaotic with that scene with people looking at a television breaking news. But it's so crazy. I'm not trying to confuse anything here because I haven't seen Children of Men in a while, right? So it's not. I don't think it's because I watched the movie last night, so I had a dream similar to it, nothing like that. So I look over and I'm like, is this a question? I'm like, is this happening everywhere? So I turn around and I see people standing in line and some still sitting at the cafe, and it's the breaking news on the TV, right? And the thing going across the screen. And I remember just, I was outside, so I was reading. I got closer to the glass, that's the window of that cafe. I'm like, what is it saying? And he said, in the next 72 hours. I remember seeing the number 72, and he said, in the next 72 hours, okay, we are going to get hit with massive water and or possible bombing. And in that moment, the police siren was just tormenting how loud it was, because all you see was like unidentified cars, and then you have the planes flying by. And then in that moment, I'm reading the thing, right, because I can't hear it because I'm outside, I'm reading the thing, and it said in the next 72 hours, we're gonna get with the water is gonna rise so high, and there's gonna be possible bombing. So in that moment, I turn around and I see this huge type of military style truck. Almost like, what do you call those trucks? And it's almost like they're not regular truck. Maybe like a gas tank, I guess you can say. It was all in dark green, right? Huge. And the police were dividing the street so that it can come through. And I was like, oh my goodness, these people have gas, bomb trucks and all of that already. So I remember I have to get to my sister's house, right? So in case you guys don't know, my mom is sick, right? And she lives with my sister. And I remember, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go forget the car, right? I'm not gonna go get my car. I'm just, the streets are chaotic. There's a lot of people walking through. The traffic is gonna get insane, and this is not looking good at all, right? And I was like, in that moment, I'm reading that, and I see the gas tank coming, the bomb truck, I guess you can say, and I'm like, wait a second, how do they know this is all gonna happen? Like, but it seems like they're prepared. They already have military planes flying by, gas tank, bomb trucks coming out, and whatever. So I'm like, okay, I have to get out of here. But I was like, I'm gonna record whatever I can a little bit. I'm not gonna go live, just so that I can post it here, right? And then in that moment, I look back at the cafe, and some people were getting their food and sitting down. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't need to see any more breaking news. Like, I think it's time to go. And you could hear, like, I remember hearing some of those people, they're like, oh, we'll eat and then we'll go. Like, we're not really going to worry about it. I was like, I don't need to be convinced. So I kept going up the street, with more people, right? And like I said, people were walking on different directions. And then I get to this place, and I remember seeing the lines, right? The lines for the trains, and people trying to get back home. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that line for the train is insane. I remember I saw handicapped people trying to get the elevator, and I was like, what are they waiting there for? And they're like, well, don't you see? They have to get an elevator. They can just go, and walk up the stairs. And you know it was so big, but I'm like, okay. And then I get a call from my sister, and she said, how close are you? And I said, I'm making my way there. She's like, we need to get to the pharmacy. This is if you're gonna get anything out of this dream that I had, guys, think about this. She said, we need to get the medication for mom. We don't know how long this is gonna last. Can you get to the pharmacy? And I'm like, oh wow. I was like, I remember being like looking around, like, what pharmacy like am I supposed to go to? And she's like, well, can you they have the refills ready, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll I said to her, I'll get it. And I put my phone down. I kept walking up. I'm like, let me go get to the, okay, let me get to the pharmacy. And then in that moment, you could see people closing down the businesses. I remember vividly a dollar store. It's so crazy. I saw the dollar store and people, buying, but then the owners like, we're closing, we're done, like we're done for the day. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go there. Like, I was like, I'm gonna go to the dollar store and get as much groceries as I can. And then I remember thinking, wait, I don't even have my car. How am I gonna carry everything? So I'm like, let me just get to the pharmacy, man. If I can just get to the pharmacy and get the medication for my mom, I don't care. Like, I'll just get, and we should be fine. This is so crazy because then what I remember was going into this building, right, and just making, we were all making our way up, right. I was with a group of people. I never seen them before, and we were just almost like we were flipping tables, putting them on top of tables so that we can get higher. And we were like breaking down walls. We need to get higher. They say the water's gonna get so high. And I was like, oh my goodness, but I was like, is there a way out? And I was feeling this thing. I'm like, man, how am I gonna get to the pharmacy out of, I'm being here. I feel like we're trying to find a safe place, right? And I need to get to this pharmacy, right? And then I woke up and that was it, right? Let me just tell you something about that dream, because like I said, it was very vivid. And I even pray about it when I woke up. I'm like, God, that was so real. That was so real, guys. And I know, there's a lot of people speaking about a tsunami coming or something like that. And the fact that it was related to water and seeing the 72 in the next 72 hours, I remember that I was there, I was watching at the super outside that cafe and people still getting food and sitting down. I'm like, what are they doing? They're giving a warning saying in the next 72 hours the water is going to rise so high, they're possibly going to be bombing, bomb attack. And then he said that I turn around, they're bringing out the bomb trucks already, and military helicopters going all over the place, the police, and the siren was, like I told you, was so tormenting. It was a lot of sound. And let me tell you, because like I said, a lot of people been speaking about tsunamis, alert, and all of that stuff. And the other thing too is this, right? People always get, the people are like, we have to get water, we have to get food, and this and the other. I understand there's a lot of people that take medication, right? And I understand that we have to get all of that, right? We always need food and water, right? But like, it's something that you can maybe consider, as just an advice, like kind of like a side note. If you're on a daily medication type of thing, suggest getting like the 3 months refills and things like that. This is just a personal advice. I remember being so concerned about not getting to the pharmacy. That was like my biggest thing. I was like, I'm gonna go to the dollar store and just grab as much food as I can. And I'm like, wait, I don't have my car. There's no way I can carry. I'm like, forget it. Let me just get to the pharmacy, at least get that. Because I saw the businesses closing down, right? For a very reason. Like, they're alerting us that we need to get to higher ground. So that was so vivid of a dream, I know, like I said, people been having a lot of visions about something, and I'm not trying to bring fear or anything like that, right? Like I told you, I wasn't even gonna talk about it today. I had another video that I'm working on at this moment, for later today, and I was like, let me just say it and see if anybody has something a similar dream to that. So, we know that God is always like, God will protect us, right? But He also give us a warning, right? He doesn't want us to live in fear, but He doesn't want us to also be like naive, right? And like, we have to, take care of some stuff, right? So if I mean, I was like, God, that when I woke up, I'm like, that was such a real dream. What is going on? Like, tell me what it means, right? I didn't get any other revelations after that, but I just wanted to come and share that with you guys. Let me know if you guys are having similar dream, or if you heard another person speaking about something similar. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Good night. For coming back to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, JulissaDesigns, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless.
Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you, whom if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he give him a serpent?